So we already talked a little bit about employees. Now, you seem like an enterprising guy. You're probably always trying to maybe look for other options and things to do. What traits do you look for when wanting to work with other businesses?
Man, just integrity. The same thing that we look for, man. Like, first we got to look for quality. Because, I mean, like, people referring to us or vice versa, like, if I refer, let's say, somebody to a paint and body shop and they do horrible work, that looks bad on me.
Sure.
So same thing, you know, like, I know if I send somebody to, because we get a lot of, so I don't know if you know, but our shop was a truck accessory shop for years. It was called Tri-City Truck Supply, I think, for like a long time. Before that, it was like I think a plumbing, or no, I think it was an HVAC supply place for a few years, and then it was originally a boat dealership. But anyway, that was a little more history, and you probably asked for it.
No, that's all right.
It was Tri-City Truck Supply for years and years, and so we still have people, even though we've been there for almost 2 years now, still coming in for like a bed cover or a suspension lift. Like, people don't realize
they did that go to work back then.
Yeah, they've been just around, I think, for like 17 or 18 years. So we have a lot of people coming in looking for that stuff. I can easily refer them down to Jeff Holman at Holman Outfitters because I know he's a good dude. I know he does great work, and I just feel comfortable sending him to him, knowing that my name can, in a sense, be on that because, hey, Jeff, go down and see him. He's going to take care of you. And I've never had somebody come back and say, that dude's horrible. Like, Jeff's just a good, honest dude that treats his people right like we do.
Stands by his product and what his work.
Yep. So that's the most important thing, is just integrity, and just kind of has the same values that we've got.
So if they don't have that, even if it could be lucrative, you're not going to...
Not worth it, man.
All right,
I don't want to put my name on anything. Money always works itself out, man, in any small business. I mean, we all go through the times where, like, gosh, you know, it's going to be tight, this payroll, or, you know, everybody's gone through that at some point in their small business career. Like,
sure.
Money, I've found, has always worked itself out. Like, and it's crazy, you know, as, you know, being a Christian and everything too. It's like we always worry about the dumbest things, knowing that it's always going to be okay, but like we still do it because we're humans.
Yeah.
Just
worry.
Yeah, and it always works out. But yeah, I mean, the money just, it doesn't matter to me anymore as long as I've got enough to take a few good trips a year, man. Like, and just enjoy life a little bit. Like, that's good enough for me. But money's not the most. I mean, we talked about it earlier. Time is more important than money.
Yeah.
And relationships are more important. Like, you know, a friend means more to me than a dollar bill. You know. And,
all right.
Yeah. It's just what I've found in life, man. It's just the relationships are ultimately what matter more.
All right.
Yeah.
So businesses, you hear that? If you want to work with Graham, if you're honest, he wants to work with you.
Yeah.
If you got a good product.
And it even goes outside the automotive industry.
That's
you know,
true
like
too. Yes.
Somebody needs a project that you can do. I would 100%, because I know who you are as a person, and I know you're a good guy. And I know you're gonna back up what you do, and I know you do good work because I've had a ton of people tell me what you do.
No, I appreciate that. So I want to deviate for just a second because Dwayne, because I want to still talk, but Dwayne used to race cars, if I'm not mistaken, and so or help. So you obviously car nut. Do you have any one car question maybe you would like to talk to Graham about? Since you're sitting here hanging out, and you were a car nut.
I got to hear a little backstory first. Yeah.
Well, he worked in.
Oh, one of my best friends, he raced stock cars for a while.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it was a small track, mini stocks, Pintos.
Oh, okay.
But
where at?
Colorado.
Oh, okay. What part?
Up by Colorado Springs.
Yeah, we got family up in Springs. Yeah.
And we raced at Beacon Hill Speedway all the time.
Okay.
But back when he did that, it was you beat him on the track and you have to go back in the pits and fight with him.
Okay.
So you got pretty good at fighting too.
Okay. All right.
Because they didn't like to be beat on the track, and that, you know, we knew some tricks, and we always knew that the rule book was written in black and white, so the car was set up in gray.
You say stock car, was that dirt track or is that
pavement?
Okay.
They say it's one of the smallest pavement tracks in the United States.
Is it still going too?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to say it's like 3/8 of a mile.
Wow.
It's a little bit. So my buddy that did it, he had their rule book said that you had to have for how many cc's the engine was, the car had to weigh that many pounds. So all these guys are running Pintos with 2,400 cc's, so they had to have a 2,400 pound car. My buddy ran a 2,000 pound car because it was 2,000 cc's. Because he was only getting up into like second, third gear. He wasn't even topping it out.
Yeah, you don't have time to.
You're at
It's
the other
3/8
side,
of a mile.
so it's like you can just whip them all day long. and they would, how does he be able to do that with a smaller engine? Because we know a little bit of something.
Yep.
But like I said, we set the car up in the gray area. Because when they go, oh, well, that's illegal. It doesn't say that in the rule book.
Right.
The rule says nothing about that. So
That's why I've never gotten too serious with racing, because I'm a super competitive person. And so so another little hobby we're into, me and my son got into it, RCs. Like I've got I've got over 40 of them. Like
Really?
Yeah,
They've come a long way since we were kids.
Yeah, so I kind of took a break. So I've always been a big car guy, but I had about a year break where I just didn't have like a car that I was building or doing something crazy to. And so we were still living in Hamilton, and we went to Hobbytown in Waco.
Okay.
The way it kind of happened, we went to, I've been looking for something for me and Tucker to kind of do, like, because I was super busy. I wanted something that we could just literally just pick up and go do. So we kind of had a Father's Sunday, and we went to Waco shopping, and we were at Walmart in Hewitt, and we walked by these remote control cars, and I was like, man, I think him and I would enjoy that. And so we kind of started looking at them. They're like $50 or $60, and I was like, dude, we will destroy these things within the first hour of driving them. Like, these things suck. So I literally just Googled remote control cars, Waco, Texas, and Hobbytown popped up.
Okay.
And like, fun fact, we're actually in their TV commercial. Like, from like 3 years ago, they filmed it. Little 3-year-old Tucker and me driving little remote control cars. But
oh, wow.
So we go there. Walked into a whole world I didn't know I was walking into. There's like legit like a huge remote control car world out there. Like, there's tracks down in Hutto, like
they go really fast.
Really fast. Oh, I've got cars that'll do 100 miles an hour on the street. Like, they're nuts. Like, you don't want to get hit in the shin with one of those. Like, they weigh 40 or 50 pounds too. Like, but so we buy our first little one. It was like way more than I was planning on paying. It was like $700 or something like that. But man, now we have like 40 of these dang things.
Okay.
Like, yeah, but
can you
really
tweak
good.
those kind of?
Dude, fully customizable. Well, and it's hilarious because I'm used to building like big cars, like real cars.
Yeah.
So when we first, it was called a Traxxas Stampede, was the first one we bought. And so I was talking to the owner. I bought a couple of things for it, and I was like, so if I wanted to like add wheels and tires to it, like how much is that? And he's like, oh, for the Stampede, like $50 to $100. I just literally started laughing in his face. I was like, dude, I'm used to spending like $3 or $4 grand or more on wheels and tires. Like,
this is easy. Here we go. Let's keep doing it.
But me having kind of a compulsive, addictive personality, now that turned into like 40 cars, where I probably could have bought a whole other car with the collection of remote control cars we've got. But we do.
Okay.
We have like street stuff. We have like what are called bashers, where you can like take them out to the park and literally bash them into anything. Like, you can just,
they're built a little
they're like
sturdier,
tanks.
huh?
But then we have like the dirt course stuff, like truggies and buggies, where like Thornhill Racing down in Hutto, like it's like almost like the easiest way to explain it. The tracks are like the motocross, or like the dirt bike tracks, like jumps and straightaways and all kinds of stuff. And you're talking like some of those buggies go for like $1,500 to $2,500.
Jeez, and they probably got travel on them and all that.
Oh,
stuff.
they're nuts. Yeah, you can jump them 20 feet in the air and they land on a cushion of air. I mean, it's
I
nuts.
went to a monster truck show one time, and it was in this little ice arena. So the monster truck would bump, and it was at the other end.
Yep.
It was boring as hell. But during their intermission, there's a bunch of guys out there that came out.
Where was this at?
In Colorado Springs.
Oh, okay, yeah.
These guys came out with remote control cars and were jumping the cars, the wrecked
Oh,
cars.
yeah.
That was more exciting to watch than the monster trucks were.
They did it in Waco. Hobbytown went out and they did the same thing for the one that went to Waco. They usually look for that when they go city to city.
Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty cool to watch those little cars.
Well, the whole reason why I brought that point up was we started racing them, and I started to enjoy it less and less. So Tucker and I were just now kind of getting back into it, but like, that's why I don't take racings too serious, because he's talking about like guys will straight up fight over it. Like, when I go out to Little River and drag race, it's just for fun. Like, we were in an event 2 Sundays ago. I didn't get shafted, but like my car was the fastest one there, but it was my fault. I broke out. I got a little too fast of a time, and I disqualified myself. But like, I was technically should have been the winner of that event. I don't care, dude. I'm just out there to have fun. And so I learned, like, I want to keep a hobby because I am super competitive. Like, I burned myself out in golf a little bit because I don't keep myself in check and almost dive into it too deep.
I know how that goes with golf.
Turn into Happy Gilmore out there.
Yes,
Like,
exactly.
Beat up Bob Barker and then end up getting my butt kicked.
The price is wrong.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you have that on your soundboard?
I know. I wish I had that. I do have some. I do have some Happy Gilmore, but No, you're right. That sounds like, well, that should be any hobby. It should be a release and not something that causes you to be any. That's why you're not working, is you're doing a hobby to not be stressed out. So
and it comes down to keeping myself in check.
Okay, we went down. I'm a rabbit hole guy. We went down a rabbit hole there. We'll steer ourselves back here because we talked about businesses you would want to work with. Who would be like an ideal business for you to partner with? Not so much like refer, but like since you do detailing, what are businesses you would partner well with you?
Locally owned car dealerships. I love so like these dealership contracts. I love them. Like we've had dealership contracts that just didn't work out, but mostly those are the corporate stores that are just tough to work with because they. And I'm not saying all corporate stores aren't good, but when you got like Don Ringler, we've been with them for over 3 years. For the dealership detailing contract world, 3 years at a dealership is a long time.
Okay,
like
they probably
But I know Donnie personally. Consider him a friend. He's a great guy. Like the corporate guys. Did you?
Yeah, no, don't worry. Just keep going.
So
it's all right. It's for charity.
What
right?
I've found for dealerships, the local guys typically care more about, like, we're both small business owners, even though they're a much bigger small business, they're still considered small business, where they appreciate a small business guy coming in because there's like huge corporations like Uniseal is one of them. All they do is corporate like dealership detailing.
Okay.
That's all they do, and they're cheaper than us, but you're also going to get really bottom of the barrel stuff out of that. I mean, it is
uneven service, probably.
Very much so. They're out of Houston, or they're out of Austin, or they're out of Dallas. Like us locally, like just what is today? Or it was I think Thursday or Friday. Don Ringler was in the weeds. They had a bunch of trade-ins come in, so our detailing team was just overwhelmed over there. Cool. I'm sending some of my guys over from my private shop to help dig them out, to go over there and team up and knock them out and get them caught up. They just don't have the resources that we've got locally. So what I've found is, the local dealerships, if they understand we're not going to be the cheapest, but we're going to give them really good quality,
sure,
and we're going to be able to have more resources for them, that's who we love to team up with. But then we just had a random deal with Hertz out of Waco. Hertz Rental Cars just started sending us stuff too.
Okay.
So really anything. I mean, McLean Trucking, it was a few months back before Christmas. They needed 82 semis interiors done.
Holy moly.
We think outside the box. It doesn't, Sunbelt RVs.
Yep.
We've got 2 to do for those guys tomorrow. So really anything automotive related.
It needs to be cleaned.
We love working with them as long as, and I'm a win-win guy. Like, I want both sides to win. Like, with the contracts we've got with the dealerships, I don't want just Graham to be, or Bulldog to be the winner. Like, I want them to feel like they're winning too. And so we try to really, it's almost like a negotiation. Let's go back and forth to where we can find that really good middle line.
Everyone wins. Yeah, exactly.
Where we both feel like we're winning, because I don't want them to feel like we're just a vendor that can kick them out. I want relationships to be as long as possible. I don't get into something just to be a year and done.
Yes. Yeah. Soak them for whatever you can, and then on to the next one.
But I found in general, and it's kind of a blanket statement, but in general, it's usually the local automotive companies that are going to be a lot easier to work with, where they don't have to, like AutoNation's one of them. Nothing against AutoNation. We've done some business with them in Waco, the Mercedes Chevy dealership up there.
Yeah.
But for them to really make any decisions, they got to call corporate down in
15
Florida.
layers of bureaucracy.
Exactly, and that's just hard to deal with sometimes. And so I love working with the locals 100%.
All right. Well, no, that's good. You ringing the bell?
I rang the bell. It was a poor ring.
Oh, we got
to
to
do it again.
Hey!
Which one are we drinking? All right.
That's what we do too. We do the old Ed McMahon after.
When was the last time somebody rolled?
Oh, that's right. Here we go. That's right. That's right. There we go.
25, and I get to roll again. I gotta give it 20 here.
Oh, all right. So what is you've been in business now? You said about 10 years. I mean, real like 6 years, but you've been doing this. What's the best advice you've been given from maybe another business owner, or how to run a business?
Best advice I've been given, boy. So there's a guy. I'm gonna give him a shout out.
All right.
I think everybody should have kind of like a business they want to like work towards. You know, like I don't want to say idle them, but you know, like
Yes.
So I've got a friend of mine who's also a really good customer. His name is Tony Lenore up in Waco. Centex Roofing. You've probably seen his
Yes.
good guy. I'm friends with a lot of roofers, so sorry, roofing friends. But Tony's one of those guys that the way he treats his employees. I mean, he just puts everything in God's hands, and he knows it's all going to work out. But man, like he gets a vacation a lot, but he treats his employees well. Like I think he took his like top 10 sales guys and their significant others to Cancun last year as a reward for just their working hard. But man, just really trusting that everything's always going to be okay. Like I've been through some ringers, and I've been through one pretty recently lately that I'm not going to talk about.
No.
But it's always going to work out. Like just once again, just go back to the roots. Like just treat your customers well, have good integrity. Even when you're in the fire, things are always going to work out as long as you just focus on your core values of giving back, taking care of your employees, and just trust that it's always going to be okay. You know. And Tony's always been one of those guys. If I've ever gone through challenges where, you know, especially back in the days where we weren't super well known yet, like it's always going to work out. You know, just stay focused on the business and just creating a good product, and it's always going to work out. So.
All right. Well, now
you finally get to move one.
I find treating employees well always comes back, like you said. You don't have to spend as much money finding new ones, and
I always think back to the military, like from a respect standpoint. Like if I always respected like the sergeants and our leadership that were out there with us working, you know, and I haven't detailed the car in quite a while. I just don't have time. I've got multiple locations. I've got a lot to run, but like just going out and giving appreciation. If that's stopping by Shipley's and grabbing some kolaches and donuts for the morning, you know, just letting the employees know that you care about them, you know, and not just they're just disposable or something like that, you know, because they're not, you know.
Yes. Well, your business doesn't run without them.
100%.
I would agree with you totally.
Yeah.
I got 2 guys that work for me, but I try to take care of them real well.
Yeah, absolutely. It might hurt in the short term, like, you know, we're in rainy season. Like right now, like rain is a double-edged sword for us. Rain kills us when it's happening because nobody's going to go spend hundreds or thousands of dollars to get their cars cleaned if it's going to drive out into rain. But also down the road, they're going to spend that money because their cars got messed up and got dirty. So, but we still try, even like during those times, a lot of guys would just be like, go home. You're not going to, you know, like construction's the same way. Anything that's weather related, if it rains, you're probably not going to get hours. We still try to find
something to do.
Something for them to do, if it's cleaning the shop or doing something to at least get them as many hours as possible, so they still got their bills.
Yeah, they still got bills to pay. Yeah. What's one lesson your job has taught you that you think everyone should learn?
So, small business in general, I always tell people it's one of the hardest things I've ever done, but also one of the best things. There's times where it's the best thing in the world, and then there's some times where it's the hardest thing in the world. And so the lesson I've learned is just to teach people that, like, I will always, like, if somebody, I've had employees that have gone off and done their own thing, and I always just stress to them, like, I've got one that was doing window tint and paint protection film. He just went and started his own thing, and I've just told him, like, dude, don't ever give up. You know, like, that's the biggest lesson, is just don't give up.
Don't give up. Keep fighting.
Always fight. Like, I mean, and it was funny, I was talking to my bankers the other day, and they're good dudes, but they told me, they were like, the one thing we love about you, Graham, because I still get headhunted every once in a while for the marketing work I used to do in the nursing home industry, because it's kind of a specific thing.
Sure.
Like, they were like, dude, one thing we love about you is, like, you don't have a plan B. Like, Bulldog is that's your only plan. Like,
well, don't they say that though? With small, like, you should act like it's your, that if you're not, if it's not your, you have plan Bs, you're not going to put all your effort into what you're doing.
Yep. And if you start a business, just always make sure that your business is your only plan. You know? Don't have any other options, because if you do, you're probably going to fail.
All right. The last thing about business here, what has been the hardest part for you of being a small business owner, and then maybe your favorite part?
The hardest part has been, so I genuinely love people, and some people, like, the hardest part about being a business owner is you also have to be the bad guy. You always have to make the hard decisions, because at the end of the day, it's not about this employee or that employee or whatever. It's about Bulldog at the end of the day. And so if you've got, let's say, a toxic employee, you know, that could be bringing the culture down in your shop, you ultimately have to make the hard decision to let them go, even though you might like them. I've had to let people go that I like a lot, but you always have to be the bad guy. That's probably the hardest part, because I genuinely want all my guys and girls to succeed. I mean, like, but sometimes you have to make the unpopular decision to do whatever you got to do.
I mean, you got to be the owner.
But for me, that's the hard part. I'm not a confrontational dude. I believe in people too much sometimes too. I've let people probably have more chances than they should have gotten.
Sure.
And it's bitten me pretty hard before, but
okay.
I still just choose to believe in people at the end of the day, though.
All right.
And was the other side
favorite part? What's your favorite part of being through these years? What's been your favorite part?
So it's kind of a two-tier, like what it's allowed me and my family to get to do. You know, it's opened up doors that I never thought would be open. You know, like I said, I grew up with not much. You know, and I've gotten to do things that were like legit bucket list items, like going to the Bonneville Salt Flats and watching supercars.
Gosh.
I got to watch 130 supercars whip down the Bonneville Salt Flats. I mean,
that sounds cool.
The Tail of the Dragon, SEMA, like all these things I've just never imagined I'd get to do. But even deeper than that, like I've got employees, like I've got one girl that works for me that started off a year and a half ago. I think she started off at like $12 or $13 an hour at the dealership. And now she makes a lot more than that managing 2 dealerships for me now. Like, and because you know, you don't have to have a doctorate to be a detailer. You just have to have an attention to detail and really just love doing what you're doing. She came in and just busted her butt. She has an amazing attitude. Like, she could be just getting her butt kicked in the weeds with just buried, you know. Always positive, man. Just the world needs more of her. She's just super positive. I've got another guy that's in our shop. Our lead rap guy now, he started off 3 years ago with us, once again in a base level position, and he makes a lot more than that now. And so I think that's been really neat for me, you know, because in the detailing world, we talked about it earlier, most shops are really small. You know, I think we were talking off camera about that. Most detailing businesses are 2 to 4, 5 person operations, not 25 plus like we've got.
Yeah, wow.
And the thing that I like that we have kind of a ladder, you know, like our ladder of progression is typically start off as a detailer, and then you can work your way up to like paint correction and ceramic coatings, and then you can work your way up to film and paint protection film, or shop foreman or general manager, you know. Like, and now we just literally today have a content creator that started to where he's gonna be doing, you know, videos and a lot more like professional content for us. You know, we do have somebody that's here also. She flew down to potentially do more public relation kind of work for us, so she's kind of shadowing us right now to see if there's a fit for that.
Okay.
So the fact that we're creating a lot of positions that most detailing companies don't even create.
Yeah, you keep
really
finding new ways to reinvent the business, and I may not reinvent, but just make it better and better.
And to hopefully create careers for people, because we don't. Yeah, and we even do it in our interview process. Like, we're not looking for somebody that's just looking for a job for a couple of months, man. Like, we're just not the right fit for you. We're not looking for the next step. Like, we really want people that want to...
You have filters in place to get the right people.
Yeah, we're really looking for the people that love cars and really want to do this for a long time, you know, like...
Okay.
And hopefully get to experience. I mean, it's not just me that went to the Bonneville Salt Flats or got to go to Tampa, Florida a bunch of times. I usually take employees with me to do that stuff.
Neat.
Like, so it's not just me getting to go out and do all the fun stuff. Like,
you're living high on the hog and they're back slaving away.
Yeah, no, I've taken multiple employees out on a lot of those trips with me too. So,
well, I like the way you run your business. It sounds like you'll keep getting that success. Well, that's about it with business. I just have a few more things I'd like to ask you. You know, what do you think, or what do you hope the listeners and viewers take away, or what do you hope they learned about you or about your business?
I hope they know that, I mean, we genuinely care about our community, about our employees, you know, like, I don't know, I just want them to know that we're here for a long time. We want to be a huge part of the community. We want to grow with the community. Temple and Waco are blowing up right now, and we're hoping to grow with them. You know, I'm in one of our proudest moments. I didn't even mention this earlier, but during COVID, you know, when like there was businesses shutting down left and right. I mean, it was a brutal time for small business. It's actually when we saw most of our growth. I mean, our big growth actually happened during COVID, and so we're hoping to continue to grow. And be a positive light to not only to our community, but hopefully to the detailing industry in general. Like we've aligned ourselves with other big shops. I told you about our friends up in Chicago that just have a crazy operation up there, and they're giving back. I mean, I've been to a couple of their seminars where they're trying to teach detailers how to be better business owners and not just be good at the craft.
Okay.
There's a lot of good detailers out there. I want to be more a part of teaching people how to be good business owners in the detailing world too.
Yeah. All right. Is there anything big that's next for you that you?
Yeah, we've got we've got some. I don't want to go too much in depth, but we've got some pretty cool contracts, possibly working in the transport business that we're trying to get back into. People that have followed me for a while know that we used to do that. Some insurances and stuff like that in the past kind of made it hard for that industry, but I think we're finding a way our way back into that industry to where hopefully that's going to create more local jobs for people to get out and do some transport work. And then I've got a big partnership coming up here pretty soon. I've got a big investor / partner coming in, and hopefully we'll have that all signed off this week. He's an awesome dude. He's actually been a big supporter of the company for over the last year now. Really, really good dude. Once those lines are signed,
then you can talk about it.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that a lot more. But we just the last year has been pretty tough for the company, and we're really moving towards just getting that culture back that we've had in our big ideals in the past. And so we're working really, really hard with these moves that we're making to bring a lot of that back. In the last year, we kind of slacked off on the community relations. I mean, we sponsor a lot of stuff, but we haven't actively been out there as much. So one of our big goals is to really get really involved again too. And that's why we're making some of the moves we're making as well. So
good for you guys.
We got some really cool stuff, man.
It sounds like it.
It's been a challenging year, but it's also been a really good learning year.
Sometimes you learn the best stuff through that kind of.
When you come out of the fire, it's really good.
Yeah,
so that's what we're really looking forward to.
All right.
Yeah.
What's one thing you would have hoped for me to ask that I didn't ask? Go ahead and elaborate.
Boy, we touched a lot.
We did touch a lot. I mean, there was a lot of things we didn't talk about, but we're still gonna have to talk about some because we still got to finish this game.
Yes, we do. What didn't you ask? I don't think we went through the kind of the progression of the company.
If you'd like to, elaborate. If there's one question.
Let's kind of what my grandma used to call it, the Reader's Digest version. So, kind of long story short on how Bulldog. We started in Hamilton in 2016. I actually had a custom carport built at my house. A buddy of mine's construction company built it, and I had my garage. My little 2-stall garage. Boy, you're rolling doubles.
Yeah.
So I started it there June of 2016. Exactly a year from the day we opened. We opened up our first brick and mortar in Hamilton. A little old fueling station out there that we renovated and brought back to life. And then it was September of 2017 we opened our first brick and mortar in Waco. And then August of 2019 we opened in Temple. So that was kind of the progression. And then after we opened in Temple, that's when we kind of started thinking about Adrian's therapy, and so that's why we decided to make Temple our headquarters as well. And then we've been with Don Ringler since I believe it was June of 2020. Cleo Bay Honda was March of 2020, and then we just started with Johnson Brothers Ford in December, this last December. So that was kind of the really quick version of.
That's how things have progressed for you. Yeah. All right.
For Bulldog.
So I guess last here, and then we'll.
What do we do with that? Is that the starting
3?
one?
Yeah. Holy cow! First one.
Yeah.
Where can viewers and listeners find you online, or what kind? Are you guys all over the place? What's some?
Yeah, we're. So BulldogAutoDetailing.com is our website. Got an awesome website. We've got a big Facebook following, IG following. I think it's all just at Bulldog Auto Detailing. Our
75.
75. That's 5, right?
Yep.
We have separate pages for Waco and Temple for Facebook. And then IG is just all in one. But we're also, I guess, another big thing. This content creator that we're bringing on board. We're hoping to build
another 75. That'll really get you guys out there then.
Probably going to try and build the YouTube channel more. We've got a small one, but we're going to try and build that more. Probably gonna TikTok. I know.
Okay.
Not excited about it,
No,
but it's popular.
Well, and you have a really
11.
You have a really cool. I mean, cars look cool on video, and
we've got a really visual company.
Yes.
So so we're really going to go after our social media a lot more.
Okay, that's kind of a new thing for you guys coming up.
Well, we've always had a good social media following, but we're going to go for a higher level of it. I would say would probably be the right way.
We have a winner.
That's a winner, huh?
Do you have a 5?
Nope.
Well, son of a gun, we got to keep rolling.
Oh, okay.
I thought you both lose in that one.
Oh, I guess we do both lose because we didn't get a winner.
That's fair enough to me.
So we are
That's good. Losing is winning.
That's right. Losing is hey, we're doing this for charity. It was fun. It's just.
So does that mean you both have to pay and you both have to drink?
Oh gosh, yes.
We're gonna suffer through this together.
Yeah, let's suffer through this together. The old.
And should the old man in the room have to pour for you?
No, just a simple pour. Sorry.
I'm good with a simple.
Sorry, guys, you're not gonna torture us.
3 fingers.
Yeah, 3 fingers. No. Well, yeah, we charity won today. We got to learn a lot about you, Graham. I appreciate you coming on. I held back the tears because you had some great story, and we're just gonna do a little bit.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
I think people need to go out and support you. Like I said, I appreciate you coming on, taking your time. I know you're very busy.
Did you see he gave you more than he gave himself?
Let's see here. Here, I'll give you the little one. You're the guest. What kind of host would I be if I did that? But
I'm actually scared to check my phone.
It's
been
not.
vibrating
Exactly.
a lot.
Well, thank you, Graham.
Thank you.
Cheers,
It's been an
Kentucky
honor.
Deluxe, to down the hatch here. Ugh.
I don't know. I actually took that better than I thought I was going to take.
It wasn't. Ooh, it's a little hotter, but anyway,
that's the second time he's had to drink.
That's right. I've lost / won twice. Lastly, I just want to thank the people that helped me out and sponsor the show. Thank you, Rex, for doing what you do here with all the cameras and the time editing. Thank you to Creekside Cigar Lounge. They, Dwayne, as you have met, he helps us, and Val lets us host this here. Another small business.
Awesome place.
They care about their community. These shirts, Wiener Tactical, Jeremiah Trular, he's a local boxer. He just went professional. He makes these shirts. He loves small business. I got some new shirts coming out. El Baracho Liquor Store. That's where I get all the hooch for the show. And so thank you for your support. Go patronize these businesses. Go patronize Bulldog Automotive. Auto detailing. Sorry.
It's all good.
I know I saw it.
It happens all the time.
No, I know. I'm glad that we have someone like you in the community that cares about the community and the people in it and their employees. So, best of luck to you. God bless.
God bless you too.
You get back to putting out fires. So
Always.
all right.
Appreciate
Thanks, buddy.
you.
All right.
Man.